hole 1 at Giles, and this is where Tournament Central will be this year. Because the main parking lot is closed, more on that later, we're going to be setting up here near hole 1's long pad and hole 1's short pad. As you can see, Snowden Ashford Road is closed for construction. This is the road we usually use to drive to the main parking lot at Giles, which is also closed for construction. Therefore, we are going to drive in through Powerhouse Road and Reformatory Way. This cuts through a neighborhood, so please be very respectful and drive slowly as you come to the course. I will post comprehensive directions in an email accompanying this players meeting. To begin our discussion of course rules, I want to talk about OB. Here at Giles, we observe what is called cut line OB. You can see we're fortunate enough that they've mowed recently, and there's a nice discernible cut line. Cut grass here, and you have thorny garbage here. If your disc is completely inside the thorny garbage like this one is, because here's the cut line right here, you are out of bounds. Where you can see blue paint lines left over from the Howling Gale Classic, please use those. Where you cannot find any blue spots to sight between, which hopefully will be few and far between. See, we've got some blue here, so you can sight a straight line to the blue over here. You'll determine an OB line that way. Otherwise, if you were at a place where it is completely obliterated, you're going to just have to use the cut line as your OB designation. If your disc goes into the thorns and you cannot find it, that is not a lost disc under PDGA rules. If the card concludes that the disc was OB, you simply will play from where the card saw the disc go out of bounds. One more note while we're here, there are 2 of these fences on the course. One is in play from hole 1 on the long pad, from the long pad, and the other is in play on hole 2 from either pad. If your disc gets stuck in this fence, it is not barbed wire, but I am still going to allow 1 meter of casual relief so that you can form a stance. That is if your disc is stuck in the fence. A note about the OB line, sometimes artifacts like this happen when you're spraying, nothing to be done about it. As you can see, there's a little circle that sticks into the inbounds. If you see something like this, the line that is closest to the thorns, as farthest away from the fairway, is the OB line. This is just an accident. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes these islands in the middle of the course are bush hogged and therefore are inbounds. But this year, because they only bush hog every 2 years, they are not bush hogged. They are therefore out of bounds. This is the path that's between hole 2, which is currently on our left, and hole 1, which is currently on our right. From either fairway, road and across is OB. And then we've got this blacktop here, it's asphalt, and all of this asphalt is out of bounds. If your disc is completely surrounded by asphalt, and that includes grass growing out of cracks in the asphalt, you are out of bounds. If any part of your disc is touching the grass or gravel on the edge, you are in bounds. It is a card call. The area around this course is rapidly changing. We're still here on hole 2. This road, even though it connects to the asphalt, this road is not out of bounds. I'm going to mark where that starts, where the inbound starts, and then inside this retaining fence over here is out of bounds, and I've got a little place where that line starts right here at the corner. So if you're in front of the retaining fence or tapping the retaining fence, inbounds, over the retaining fence, out of bounds. As you can see, hole 3 no longer exists. The park will be putting in a replacement hole, but it will not be done by the time of the tournament. Instead, we are going to split hole 16 into 2 holes. More on that later. This is hole 4. On hole 4, the OB does not begin. All this thorny stuff here is inbounds actually until we get to the rivulet here. The rivulet is where the OB starts, and the OB flips around the creek here and then follows the tree line up on that side. And over on this side, it starts at a big tree back there, cuts straight across, and then up along the thorn line. And because of this sort of eccentric nature of the OB here, this is the only hole on the course with a drop zone. You can use the drop zone either in lieu of 1 meter from where you went out, or if your disc is OB but your card cannot make a call as to where it crossed out of bounds. Here we are by 6's baskets on the way to 7, and you'll notice this old construction trail that leads straight up from the bike path to hole 17. You are not to use this trail to go straight up the hill. Continuing to use this trail will cause erosion, which will eventually compromise the reservoir over here, which would be bad. So if anyone uses this trail, you will get 2 strokes for destruction or harm to the course. Standing here on hole 8's tee pad to show you how to cross from one side of the other safely. In this case, we'd be just finishing 16, walking down hole 8, and you know, watching out for other players. And when we get down here, we're going to take this path here. To take the path that winds down the hill, up the hill, across the pavement bridge there, a concrete bridge that you can see, with the fence gates open. We'll walk across that bridge, and then there's a trail that you can probably see going up the hillside that connects with the trail from hole 7. When you get to the top of that trail, you will take a right and follow the switchbacks along hole 7 to hole 17. Here's the crossing from the other side. See, you walk down here and along the bridge when you're coming back, and you walk up this path here and wind your way through here. When you get here, if you're walking back to 17, it seems like you should go left. Don't go left. Do not go left. Go right, and wind your way around 7 back to the main path that way. If you go this way, you'll be headed toward the switchbacks back to the creek. Here on hole 14, you'll see out of bounds line comes up to this fence and indicates fence, which tells you that the fence is the OB line until you see blue again, which will be further up there. We're here at 15's red basket. We're here because the OB around the red basket cuts a little ways into the brush here on either side. Does so sort of by the tree line over here, as I hope you can see in the video. That gives you some room to work here as you go down the fairway. Here we are on 16's long pad. As I mentioned before, hole 3 is no more, and until we get a new hole in, we're going to split 16 into 2 pieces. One is going to shoot, we're going to call it 16A, shoots from this long pad here to a basket that's going to be kind of right-hand backhand hyzer shot nestled down there around the corner just before the gauntlet. Here's a view back to 16A's tee pad from what will be the basket and is currently a chair sitting on top of a blue X. I wanted to note that OB actually does have a line across the path over here if you go really far. I don't think anyone's going to go past this aiming for that basket over there, but it's a possibility, and I wanted you to know it was here. Here on 16B, we'll be going to that silver basket with the white flag. You'll notice over here there's sort of a cutout here that goes down the hill, but OB line kind of transitions smoothly here between the 2 thorn banks, because nobody wants to throw down there anyway.
Remind me what the hell